What's up, you guys? Eric here with driverlineup.com, world's okayest steering wheel holder. And getting ready. As you can see, the windshield wiper fluid's low. Need to add some oil and a little more coolant to the truck. So I'm getting that taken care of, topping off the fluids. I'm just getting ready to get out of here. We have had a little bit of difficulty getting a load out. Yesterday were no real big loads going out. Nothing meaningful anyway. Yesterday would be Sunday, today's Monday, so that was kind of a pain in the butt. And then this morning at like 0400, I called in again to see what was going on. And it turns out, now you guys who drive for Prime, you know that there's always a trailer shortage at the terminals, like always. Empty trailers. It's hard to get an empty trailer. And here in Springfield, there's a ton of loads nearby. Like you got Tyson down in Russellville, and there's a ton of places you can go pick up loads, like Kraft here in Springfield, and a lot of places within 100 miles, but you gotta have an empty trailer. And it's always a battle getting an empty trailer in Springfield, but I was told this morning that it's worse right now than it's been this entire year. So getting an empty trailer is next to impossible. And they only had like 3 or 4 loads that were leaving the yard, and they were like 300 or 400 mile loads that paid, you know, $400 or $500 and had like 2 days time on it. Well, I'm a team truck, you know, so I'm not gonna, like, I'd rather sit at the house, you know, and wait for something a little more meaningful. Not that I need a big rate off the yard, but 2 days for I mean, that's $200 a day. You know, if I'm taking a $400 load with 2 days on it, like that's like a PSD load, you know what I'm saying? So, also they were, I guess today, considering sending trucks up to get empty trailer, brand new trailers in Indiana. And he mentioned that they may actually be paying trucks to come back to drag those empty trailers all the way back to Springfield, which I've never heard of. We've gone up there and picked up new trailers, you know, bobtailed up there and picked up new trailers a few times, but I've never heard of going to get a brand new empty trailer and dragging it all the way back to Springfield and being paid both ways. So that's interesting, but they couldn't authorize that early this morning. So I'm thinking, crap, you know, we really wanted to get this week's truck payment taken care of. I wasn't expecting to get a check this week, but hoping to get the truck payment taken care of. And it wasn't looking good. But at the last minute, I mean, like right when I was about to get off the phone, I was about to say, oh, screw it, I guess I'm gonna go back to bed and call later today and figure it out. Like right when I'm about to get off the phone, dude says, hold up, got one going to Maine, pays $2 a mile, $3,000 for 1,500 miles, but it doesn't get in before the payroll cutoff Wednesday. You have to, it's a Walmart load, so you got to drop it off right at 0400 on Thursday morning. And I jumped at that. I don't know if we just have good luck right now or what, you guys, but we've taken loads to Maine, like literally this is the 3rd time in a row, I think, leaving Springfield that we've taken a $2 a mile load off the yard to Maine. So I hope that continues, because that was a score. So that's what we're doing. We have a load, it's already at the yard. It's got a lot of time on it, so I'm not in a rush, because, you know, with that much time, being that it's not due Thursday morning, we're either going to sit here at the house for a day, or we're going to find places to park between here and Maine to waste time, and I'd rather be at the house. So we're kind of taking our time today. Now it does mean that because we won't get a load in before the payroll cutoff, we're not going to be able to make the truck, well, I mean, we'll make the truck payment, but we'll go in the hole. But, you know, I mean, it sucks. That's a sucky feeling, but I don't need a check this week, you know what I'm saying? So considering that by Thursday morning at like 0500 we're already going to have $3,000, we're going to scratch out of that hole really quick and should be set up really well for next week. So it's all good. Like I said, I never like to go in the hole though, even though it's not really a meaningful, you know, going into the hole. So that's our situation. It's Monday. I don't know, what is it? Today's like the 16th or something. So I'm pretty pleased with it. I'm pretty pleased with a $3,000, 1,500 mile load off the yard. Man, I let my fluids get way, way low. Look at that. DOT would not be pleased with that. I think I got a little lazy when we were just trying to work back to the shop to get the headlight issue fixed. I have looked over the wiring harnesses here underneath the hood. It looks like they did rearrange those, so that wiring issue where it was touching the hood on bumps does seem to be fixed. So hopefully we have, you know, pretty good luck when we get out there on the road this time. So anyway, that's our situation, guys. It's a pretty ideal situation, I think. Especially considering there's only like $500 loads going off the yard that go 300 or 400 or 500 miles with like 2 days to do it. That's terrible for a team truck. So I think we really lucked out and pretty pleased with that situation. So the plan is to get the truck ready, do an extra load of laundry. I got to change a glad hand today too. I got a glad hand that's sucks. It's a brand new glad hand. It's only like, well, it came with the truck, so it's, you know, 40,000 miles, 40 50,000 miles, somewhere in there. And it's not tightening to the trailer. It just sits in there kind of loose no matter what trailer. At first I thought it was a trailer we had, and it's letting a little bit of air out and I have to go tighten it every time we stop. I thought it was the first trailer, but then we started getting one trailer after another, and it kept doing it. So that glad hand on there is not holding tight, so I got to swap a glad hand out. Then I'm gonna go to sleep later this afternoon, and my plan is to go get that load off the yard around midnight tonight, and that way I can get through St. Louis tomorrow morning before rush hour. It's always good to go through St. Louis before rush hour if you can. Although, if you haven't been in St. Louis for the last 2 weeks, you guys are gonna be very happy to know, Lyle, No Hippie Trucking Transportation, you're gonna be very happy to know they finally opened up 3 or 4 lanes going through there southbound. It seems like it's been a year and a half since, you know, it's been like 1 lane open, which is freaking ridiculous. I understand that they needed to close the bypass to do maintenance on that road, on the bypass. But what engineer thought it was a good idea to close the bypass for construction repairs before you finish the construction that goes through the center of St. Louis? So you're basically forcing all the bypass traffic into 1 single lane going through St. Louis. It's terrible. Anyway, I went through there like a week and a half ago, and I was like expecting the worst. We waited. We went through there at like 4 a.m., you know, to try to sneak through there before rush hour traffic. And what would you know? All 3 or 4 lanes were wide open. It was a thing of beauty. But even when the lane's open, I don't like to go through St. Louis during rush hour. So leave about midnight tonight and try to sneak through there and get on our way up to Maine. So I feel like it's kind of a reboot of our last trip out, because if you watch my channel, you know that the last trip out we took a $2 a mile load up to Maine, and on that trip we started having our headlight issue. We then got caught up in those canceled loads up there in New York, and then just we're starting to, you know, trying to get repower and trying to keep this headlight issue going. So I feel like we're kind of getting a redo on that trip that went awry because of the headlight issue. So hopefully this one goes better than the last one. So. But on that truck payment, you know, Lyle and so many others and myself, we talk about having that cushion. Some like to do it via emergency fund. Some, like we have our own savings. Occasionally you're going to go in the hole, a truck payment, and that's what's going to happen this week. So you got to be set up, if you're leasing, to expect to not get a check. And we're in that position, fortunately, where we didn't expect to get a check anyway. I was hoping to make the truck payment and come out even. That's probably not going to happen. But like I said, we're set up really well for the next week. So anyway, good things, you guys, good things. I'm ready to get back out on the road. We've been home for like 9 days, so that'd be twice in the last 4 weeks that we've been home for a week. So it's been pretty, kind of getting a little bit spoiled, but at the same time, we're preparing to get out there and run through the holidays. We ran through the holidays last year, and it was really, really lucrative for us. So our plan is to, from about the beginning of the third week of December, to run pretty hard through the end of January. So it's kind of nice to go ahead and hunker down and get some good time off. So, all right, guys, that's it for today's update. We'll update you next from the road and continue our journey. So that's it for today. Be safe, guys. Make good decisions. And as always, drive to thrive. Talk to you soon.